Hey there, Mr. Lefty. How are you this morning? How's it going, everybody? Josh here with Desert Gardens Homestead. So I'm out in the back of my property. I just wanted to show you a project that I've been working on, but just also wanted to give a quick update on Lefty here and the rest of the turkeys. These are bourbon red turkeys that I've got. I do have 8 of them in here, so they're all doing well. They're growing rapidly. I've got a couple that are showing some really strong traits of being males, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys continue to do back here. But hang tight and let me show you what I've been working on. So just off to the right of my rear shed here, I've started creating a new structure. I've really been doing a lot of research into tree hay, which is where you start collecting tree branches and just various odds and ends, and you bundle them together and just allow them to naturally dry out. I would really like to take advantage of doing that for my goats. The only problem that I face here is that I really don't have a place to store any dried branches or leaves or material that I could make use of. And so I just started to accumulate some more pallets and wanted to make sure that the pallets were pretty much universally the same size. So for the most part, these are all 48 inches tall. The only two oddballs are those left side of the door there. They were just a little under 48 inches tall, so I just had to make an adjustment near the top and put in a extra 2x4 and a brace. And then as far as the width, they were all pretty much 36 and 32 inches respectively. And so I just put the 36s with the 36s, one on top of the other, the 32s with the 32s. And then on this right side of the door, those are 48 by 40s. So those are the two largest pallets. And then I just went and got some 2x4 by 10s for the rafters. And I just framed out the front here so it's got a nice sloping angle. I will go ahead and shingle this and probably just put some plywood for the exterior, unless I can get my hands on some corrugated tin, which seems to be a little pricey these days. So I'm trying to make this hay barn as cheap as possible. The dimensions are 9 by 9, so it's approximately 81 square feet. And then I would say it's probably reaching heights of about, I don't know, between 10 to 8 feet on the slope. And so it should be plenty large enough for me to store quite a few bundles of tree hay in here. So when I prune all my fruit trees with the smaller limbs and leaves, I can just bundle them all together, bring them out here, allow them to dry. And then I can periodically do that through the spring and summer months for my goats, and just accumulate as many bundles of roughage and leaves as possible so that I could supplement their winter feedings. So all in all, this is a pretty inexpensive structure to make, especially if you can get your hands on pallets for little to no cost. I think just for the 2x4s, I've got about $40 into it. And then for the screws, we purchased a whole bunch of decking screws, the Torx decking screws on clearance. So I've been using a lot of those, but I probably have maybe 10 some odd dollars just in the hardware for screws. I've got a little gate here that I plan to put some fencing material on and use that as my door. And so the biggest expense will be the shingles, which I already have 2 bundles on hand, and then the plywood, which I think will probably take, upwards of maybe 10 sheets of plywood if I use plywood. And so that could be about $200, plus the roofing material. If you had to buy all the bundles, you're probably looking at least 4 bundles here, maybe 5. And so, that could be another $150. But for a 9 by 9 shed, or whatever you would want to use it as, for, roughly $500, you really can't beat it. And then what I'll do is I'll just use some of this, like these pallets here with the really close boards. I'll use that as my floor. I've got another one here, and if I have to make a couple and modify as need be, I can modify a few and just have a nice raised elevated floor in here, just in case it does get a little bit of moisture or whatever the case may be. It'll be elevated. And so this is my hay barn. I'm really excited. I'm a little late in the season to be collecting anything this year, but starting from next spring onwards, I'll be collecting tree branches and all kinds of different odds and ends, drying them out, storing them in here, and then feeding to my goats as I see fit or as they need. And so just wanted to share this really neat idea with you. So if you own goats or cows or any ruminage type livestock and you want to supplement some of their feed, start looking into tree hay. That is some of the oldest forms of hay, and it's a lot healthier for goats and anything that likes to rummage about. And you can periodically set some time aside to go out and create some of these bundles and save yourself some money on hay, especially with hay being as pricey as it is these days. Every little bit helps, and so with this little makeshift hay barn here, I can store quite a bit of hay, and so in the long run it'll pay myself back from just the saved costs of feeding from what I already produce in the yard, which is all the tree trimmings and everything I already have to do. And so now I'll have a purpose for it all. So I thank you for stopping in. I thank you for checking out this video and checking out this channel. If you have any questions on the build that I'm doing here, please feel free to comment below. And if you have any questions in general, I'd be more than happy to help you out. And I once again thank you for stopping in. Hope you have a great day, and God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.